What's up, everybody? I'm back. So, how's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's having a great day. You know, this these past this past year has kind of really opened my eyes to certain things. It showed me who my true friends are. It showed me that, like, when stuff happened 2 years ago, I was in a dark place. Don't get that was yeah. Another video. It's down below. You can see the video. Trust me, that's there. Um, you start really questioning a lot of things. Like, there was times last year where, after a while, I was at the point where I was so over the whole social media craze. Everyone and just like social media for me was like this YouTube thing. I really enjoy it. It makes me happy. I basically get to get everything out of my head to the world and keeps my sanity. I was never when I heard when Facebook first was like a big thing. Everyone was like, "Oh, Facebook's so great," but Facebook was like this. All those people who didn't talk to you in high school, all through school, jumped on the bandwagon the first time they came, and they sent you a friend request, but yet they won't talk to you in public. Yeah, and I was kind of like really not really thinking about it. I decided that this today. I started yesterday about it that I needed a break from social media, from like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the whole 9 yards. But I'm keeping up with YouTube because, frankly, it's more entertaining anyways. Because less drama, and I just prefer it more. I think. Um, so, you know, when life kicks you when you're down, and it keeps kicking you, you can either stay down or you can get back up and swing and hit back. And like this past year kind of really, it took me to my breaking point of where I saw myself not smiling as much. I was angry. I everything like when something good happened to me, something around the corner came around to just sucker punch me right in the face, just to sucker punch me again, and it got really hard. It was really hard at first. Like, there were days where I would sit. I'm sitting in my building here. I would sit there and, like, movies that I like truly enjoyed didn't bring me joy anymore. There were days where I would just sit. I would lay in bed staring at the ceiling, going, "Really?" And every like it got to the point where it got to the point now where it was at the point in my in those it still happens still where I find myself getting like just I lose track of days sometimes, and like with with these headaches I have, it kind of makes me feel like a prisoner in this building. Like, I love going outside. I enjoy it, but now I'm stuck inside all day, and not gonna lie, I go stir crazy sometimes, and it made it really hard to just kind of like focus on things, just to really enjoy life a lot. Um, and I'm not gonna lie when I say that there are some days where I just I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh great, another day of doing the same thing I've been doing for the past. doing the same thing every day. And I know it sounds cliche, it sounds like I'm basically telling everybody not to do what I do, but this is me. I want to be straight up with everybody on here. There are some days where I kind of like, I don't know if it's just because like I'm not used to, I'm just me and me, but there's some days where like I wake up and I'm just like having to kind of find ways to deal with the headaches and deal with the. I think it's for me. I don't know if it's because it's just because the headaches are getting to me or because they're wearing me out or what is. I don't know what to really say, but it gets to sometimes points where it's really hard to like. I was really active back then. I used to swim a lot, go do things, and now these headaches have me like just trapped in a box, and it's hard to really deal with sometimes. And during this, and then the pandemic happened, and everything went lockdown, and you get to really see what your mental state is like during these times. Like it, there were days where I had literally hit my breaking point. Like there were points where I was just still. It got to the point where I didn't really enjoy stuff. Like I'm not gonna lie when I say this, and this is me being straight up. There were times when people would talk, like people would talk about like something that they find interesting, and they'd be talking, but in my head I would be, I'd be like, it would just I would drown them out because it didn't interest me anymore, and I've been working on trying not to do that as much, trying to not do that because it's rude. I've been trying to find ways of kind of like being more cheery as of late. But the one thing that really used to the one thing the reason why I took a break from social media for a while, and I'm probably going to stay off it for about a month or two, just because I just needed a break from it, is because when you get on social media a lot of people brag about what they have, and they talk, and they're all like, and they post pictures of, oh, look at the food I ate, and look at this, I'm so great, and it's like, and you're sitting there like, people, I don't care. We don't need to see everything of your whole life in a all posted. Yeah, there are certain things you can keep to yourself. And during this pandemic, I also realized it shows you who like when your family members, like who you talk to the most. Like I very rarely talk to my cousins that live in Missouri in my home state, in the state I live in. I talk to the cousins that live in like other states more than I talk to the ones here. And I know it's bad saying that, but it's just how it happened. And it was really it really opened this pandemic really opened my eyes to the fact that it it just showed me things that I guess I was blind to that I just didn't really want to see and do and all that stuff. Because like when okay, like for instance, when my dad passed away, it was probably one of the hardest things of all time, and it it made it I felt myself kind of going like not really. I shut off, I should say, where I would put on a fake smile and act like I actually care, listen to people when people were talking. I'd actually I was interested, but I really wasn't. And it, I started noticing that I wasn't really. I'd get online and I'd go, oh wow, there's really nothing to do, or and I admit it's not the best way to do things, but we all cope in our own ways. So with that being said, it's I know everyone has their own little dealing with ways of dealing with depression and stuff like that, dealing with anxiety, dealing with things. Just know that it also this year also showed me who my really good friends are, and those friends, they know who they are, and they know that they're right here with me. I still deal with like moments of where like I wake up and I'm just kind of like depressed about wanting something good to happen to me this because like I've had 2 years of absolute garbage, 2 years of just basically being kicked like having life kick me when I'm down, then giving that glimpse of hope, just give that little bit of glimpse of hope, and then having something just sucker punch you again. And it was hard. It's hard, and but I've been trying to. But I did find I found like ways of coping with certain things. Like I've been trying to find ways of kind of changing things, like avoiding like have, getting rid of things in my life that bring me stress. Um, I at one point went on social media and and I went through Facebook and I did a mass purge of everyone on there who never talked to me, never said anything to me, never did anything, whatever. And it was there were some days where I get on Facebook and it said, "Oh, I lost someone unfriended me," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't even notice, so I don't really care." And I know it sounds bad me saying that, but it's just the truth. Because I'm not going to lose spilled milk over losing having someone unfriend me on Facebook if I didn't even notice it. Because frankly, most of you didn't talk to me in the first place anyway, so why should I care, right? And I know I wasn't always the most talkative person in high school and middle and all these things, but a lot of people on Facebook are bandwagon people, where they see somebody popular and they all jump on board. And when they see something like, "Oh, hey, he's popular," let's all jump on to his friend, send a friend request, and become his friend and stuff. But then it, yeah. So I know this video sounds kind of like me just basically airing my grievances, but I'm not really doing that. It's more clearing my head of life. um, and trust me when I say the next videos are going to be a lot more cheery, because this one was just kind of needed to be said. Because life happens. Life's a big angry monster who will knock you down and kick you and beat you down and keep you down if you let it. So, and when life knocks you down, you can either stay down or get up and start swinging. and say bring it on. That's my closing thing for you guys. So, with that being said, I hope everyone has a great day. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and let's keep it smooth, everybody, and let's and if I leave you with some advice that if I could leave you with some advice that I always think it is, and that advice is this: always do your part to change your fates. Don't 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 be a follower. Don't be a follower of something that you don't really feel that you see everyone else doing. Take the road less traveled, and 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 one thing also you always should know about is this. And and I'll try to do my part to do everything in my videos to make it happen. But can we all please in this world do one thing? And that's just everybody just be kind to one another. It's not that hard. You learned it in kindergarten, you learned it in preschool. It's not that hard. Let's all just get along, because if we do, it makes it'll make it a better place to be. So thanks for listening. I'm Joel Silva, and as always, keep it smooth.